Alright, so here we are after the first pass with the medium compound, and I used a DeWalt there that I borrowed from the shop manager, the restoration shop manager at work, and it's shining up nicely, and you can see the light playing on it there a bit. Does still have some sand scratches. Maybe you can see them right along here, and I can't feel them at all, so they must be down there under the clear. There was another one, I think right along, well, I'm not seeing it now. There was one right along that edge. There's several up here along this edge, and I think you can kind of see it there in the reflection. And like I said, I can't feel any of those. So I guess I'm not going to be able to buff them out with the polisher. Live and learn, you know. This was my first time doing this. I bought this guitar for this experiment, and to see if I could learn how to do it on my own. And it's, you know, I'm learning lessons. So anyway, it's hopefully you learn from my mistakes. I mean, I thought, because I was the toughest sandpaper I was using was a 1200 grit, and I was typically using, you know, much higher than that. And I take that back. Was it 12? Yeah, 1200 was the coarsest I used. I thought I wasn't going to have an issue with sand scratches, but you know, I kept dipping my sandpaper in water, so I thought I was keeping it clean, but apparently something got on there and still caused some scratches. So I guess I learned about that. But anyway, I'm going to take a closer look at it, see if I'm going to do another pass with the medium, or if I'm going to clean it up and switch to the fine. And I'll make another video after the first pass with the fine and see how that looks. Talk to you later. Alright, round number 2 with the medium, and it's actually looking better. Now, the sand scratches are still in there, and so I guess they're in there for life, because I am not taking this thing back down again. But yeah, it's shining up nicely. What I did different on this one was I set the buffer to 2. I had it on 1 before. I was worried about burning through the lacquer, and but I put it on 2, and I just didn't press down hard. I just worked it across the guitar carefully, and it's less cloudy, it's shining up nicer, and I think it's ready for the fine. Gonna give that change pads and give that a try. Of course, oh, you can see where I've used the Q-tips to clean out the polish from the holes and all that. The thing about using the number 2 speed, though, is that's when you really start slinging the compound everywhere. I had to clean up the chair behind me and my phone and a bunch of other stuff. So I've got this sort of curtain around this side, but the other side that I'm standing on, not so much. So of course, wear clothes you don't care about. That's what I've done. And so anyway, that's that. And I'll clean things up here and try the fine and see how that goes. Talk to you soon. Okay, so this is after a couple of passes with the fine polishing compound, and I have what I did was I started off the first pass with the machine on 1. I then put it on 2, cleaned it up, took a look at it, saw that I had some cloudiness over on this side and whatnot. You can see the swirls in it and that sort of thing. And so I put some more on the pad and went back and started on 2 for just a moment, and then I did the whole guitar again on 1. And it's actually starting to look quite nice now, quite deep and shiny and glossy. I do have a spot, let's see if I can get the light on it. I do have a spot up here where I've got some cloudiness. You can see that right there and I'm going to go back to see if the swirl remover will take care of that. That's the next step. Alright, here we are after one pass with the swirl remover, and I had the machine set on 1 the entire time. And you know, when I was doing the fine compound, I thought, if this turns out good, I won't bother with the swirl remover. But I'm really glad I went and did the swirl remover pass, because after just one pass, this thing is just deep and shiny and glossy, and I mean, just look at that. That is nice. I'm really happy with how that turned out now that I've seen it after all three bottles. Now, of course, I didn't use the entire bottles, so I've got more than enough left over to do the headstock, which I haven't even sanded yet. But as far as the body goes, it's ready to get some electronics and start playing. Should probably do the bridge the headstock first, though. But anyway, yeah, I put the bridge and electronics and whatnot in it, and string her up after I do the headstock. That's killing me. I should have done that too. Well, I'll do it later, another time when I've got the strings off of it. Because I'm looking forward to throwing the burst buckers in this thing and playing it. So hopefully that'll be the next step, unless the headstock gets to me. Guilt trips me into finishing it too. So anyway, but the sand scratches I was talking about before, they're still in there. They're in there for life. Oh well, like I say, it was my first time doing this on a guitar, and I bought the guitar for the experiment. Learned a lot, and I'll go over some of that when I get it all back together and I'm playing it, and I'll talk about some of the things I learned and tips I can pass on. So talk to you later.